Josh, would you rather listen to Hilary Duff's Disney music singing career, or would you rather watch How I Met Your Father, airing January 18th?
Pass.
I'm Joe.
I'm Josh.
You've got questions?
Yo, feeling grounded.
Welcome to Feeling Grounded with your hosts, Josh and Joe.
So what we want you all to do right now is subscribe to Feeling Grounded Podcast and like this video. Share this video also to any person that you feel might benefit from this content. Also follow us on Patreon. For only $3 a month, you guys will see exclusive content that Josh and I genuinely love to put out there. We've got one up for you, a new video this week. And follow us at Feeling Grounded Podcast. That's at Feeling Grounded Podcast on Instagram. You guys will be able to see free content that Josh and I love to put out there before each episode. Also, put some comments and some questions on this video or on our Feeling Grounded posts on Instagram, because that'll boost us in the algorithm especially. And please share this. It really helps us, and hit that notification bell, smashing that like button. You've got questions?
Yo, feeling grounded.
Entertainment. Where's the entertainment, guys?
Josh, we just did a reaction on Patreon for the How I Met Your Father trailer. The first episode just aired yesterday, January 18th. So the premise of this story, Sophie, Hilary Duff, starring Hilary Duff, we'll get to that, is telling her son the story of how she met her father. A story that, springboards her close-knit group of friends. We'll also get to that. And how they're learning how to figure out life in 2022, how they fall in love with dating apps. We'll get to that too. And limitless options on Hulu streaming now. Yeah, I loved How I Met Your Mother in 2005 when that first came out. It ended like 7 years ago. I think they had like some unaired pilot, How I Met Your Dad, long time ago, which it was a bad idea back then. It's a still bad idea now.
Right, yeah, exactly. I watched it for a while when it was on air, and I really enjoyed it. I liked the show. I thought it was funny. The characters were awesome. There was a lot of good chemistry, like a lot of like hilarious moments, and a lot of like stars that came out of that from that show, and I really appreciated it. Yeah, I heard about this. The original, How I Met Your Dad, I heard about that when that was rumored. But I didn't know that they are actually doing it. And yeah, after watching the trailer, yikes.
Yeah, so check that out on Patreon, you guys, because it is cringe, and it should be a try to laugh challenge. I can honestly say that we have not laughed throughout that entire trailer. Go check it out. And also check it out for the like to dislike ratio. Remember telling you guys that like and dislike ratios, that is gone. You can only see likes now, but if you install the Google Chrome extension, you'll be able to see that. Yeah,
no, exactly. I mean, they just keep doing this. They keep squeezing the life out of the original stuff by trying to make a sequel or a reboot or a remake. That just is not the same. Yeah. And it just destroys the legacy.
What reminds me of this show, what was good about How I Met Your Mother for the first part, you mentioned chemistry between the actors, the friend group. This friend group in this new series seems to be like an annoying representation of how millennials are. And one of these quotes that I saw on these comments, it says, so basically sitcoms about everyday lives of relatable urban millennials. It's played by people who look like models who were dressed by professional stylists.
Yeah, I read that comment, and I thought, wow, yeah. There you have it, right there.
If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, people, there you go.
I know, because that's what they try to do. Is they try to make something relatable that is not relatable at all. Trying to show 2022 people in, a party, and no one's wearing masks, and no one's overweight. And no one's missing, like, that's just not real. It's not real life anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, just go to the trailer and then leave a dislike and then leave.
Here we go.
All right, let's do it.
Make your feelings known, people.
The future is inevitable, but let's travel back in time.
January 19th, 2013. So Lance Armstrong, he admits to doping during all Tour de France wins. He says this on Oprah Winfrey. One thing that I remember about this interview was that I remember hearing Lance Armstrong was closeted with his advisors before the actual interview. And he cited his mother and cancer, of course, as reasons why he was so competitive and most likely the reasons why he doped. But he admitted to doping actually before cancer, which I find pretty contradictory. So,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I remember they stripped him of all those victories and the titles and all that stuff. And yeah, that was crazy. He started doing a big crackdown on doping after that.
Yeah. Don't have heroes, people.
Yeah. Everyone's fake. That's the message. So mine. So an example of people who are fake. Thomas Edison. Who like messed up Tesla for money. You know that story?
He what?
Edison and Tesla. He like, because Tesla had this idea of this machine that would give everyone electricity on their own.
Yes.
Like a part of the power grid.
Yeah.
And Edison like destroyed the plans or something, just so that he could like forward his plan of like keeping everyone a part of the grid. So that you have to pay for electricity, making him wealthy and like the electric companies wealthy.
Isn't it true that he had like a gang of men to like spy on Nikola Tesla?
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then to see what he was doing and all that stuff, either to steal his stuff or to destroy, which is what they did. Because Tesla had this brilliant idea of like giving everyone sustainable electricity within their homes.
Yes.
And then now we don't even know. It's like lost to destruction in history. Could you imagine if that was the case?
Yeah.
I just got my electric bill and it was crazy high.
There is an alternate universe where this would be a thing, and we would probably be better all for it.
Much happier. Anyways, in 1883, January 19th, Thomas Edison's invention of the electric system, like an overhead lighting, so just light bulbs and putting it above you, was installed and serviced in 1883.
God bless Nikola Tesla.
It's time for Happy Crappy.
My happy in the I'm pretty good today. I don't really think I have any crappies. I'll start there. Not too much because I mean, I guess my crappy was I had to drive a lot at night these past couple nights. But even then, I'm not really complaining too much. I didn't mind it so much because it's been cold and I like kind of having a hot car.
Nice.
But the reason I had to drive was because I wanted to spend some time with family in their respective areas. I had been pretty active also in these past couple 2 weeks with getting a lot done, getting up at 4:30 each week. It's weekday work day.
Do you enjoy it?
Oh, absolutely. But it also helped because each night has been pretty busy. And so that was also motivation to be like, yeah, I really can't afford to working out in the afternoon, just because it would have been a sucker of my time. Plus also, I think one of the biggest wins was on Friday of last week. I could have easily fallen asleep until basically 5:30. It was like 4:25 when I got up. But I decided, and I rocked that workout. That's probably my best PR that I've ever done. So, fair enough.
Oh, that's great, man. So I have like nothing but crappies. It's such a bad week. Our heat went out, so somebody had to come and service it. And then they discovered there's a leak in, it was called the slab leak. So we have baseboard heating. So what happens is we have the boiler in the basement, and what happens from there is it shoots hot water out. Using pipes in the ground, in the floors, to the baseboard heating, and then it heats up the house. Well, we had a leak in one of the pipes that was in our living room. So on Friday, a guy came, jackhammered the floor, so like the whole floor, and then dug into these pipes, and then replaced it. Spent $1,100 to do all this. The next day, Saturday morning, I wake up to kids crying, which is great. And then I got a cup of coffee. I sat down in our living room and I'm hearing this sound that sounds like water flowing. And I'm like, what is this sound? This doesn't sound good. And then I went into the basement, and our basement was flooded. There's 3 inches of water in the basement. Because they fixed this issue yesterday, and then it caused back pressure. And we had another faulty part of the boiler called an expansion tank and a relief valve that were broken.
Right,
so it caused a backflow of hot water into the basement. So the basement was completely flooded. So then I had to deal with that all day Saturday, which was a lot of work. And then I fixed the tiles and the floor, and we're back to normal now as of today.
Yeah.
But that was awful. And then I ate really poorly because I was so pissed and so stressed.
Yeah.
And so it just wasn't very good. I had a couple good workouts, and I stayed active, which was good. But which are my happies that I still had a lot of good activity, and I had a lot of good workouts. But I ate like horrible, and we spent a crap ton of money on all this stuff. And
Oh man, that sucks.
yeah, it was a tough time. I was very upset.
How did Claire take it?
She was very mad. But she had to go to work, so she took the kids and took them to the in-laws, and then went to work. And then she had a good day because she went from there. She was like out of the house all day, which was good for her.
Separation is good, but it ain't good for you.
Yeah. I was very angry dealing with all this stuff. But I know we were so blessed with our last house because we didn't have any problems. We didn't have any heat problems, any electricity problems, nothing. We just added like a lot of nice stuff for that first home, and then this house is just like there's always something going on. But you know what? It's Monday. We're recording this on Monday, and it's a new week.
Yeah.
And it's the first day of Exodus 90, and it's gonna be a great week. Yeah. So it's 90 days of basically of like an ascetical program that involves a lot of different disciplines to just kind of strengthen yourself, to be a better man, and to be like the man that you're meant to be. So we're trying to like detach ourselves from things. We're trying to eat healthier. We're trying to do intense exercise. So a lot of it is like doing things that are difficult for the sake of doing them, to strengthen you, to better you, and to break old habits and to form new ones, new better ones.
Yeah, and we're coming at it from a Christian perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if people who are listening right now are not Christian, I think a lot of the modifications you do can still be beneficial. For example, for the Christian side of it, develop about a holy hour of prayer. So be that as it may for you. We restrict ourselves to cold showers, which Josh and I, because we have intense exercise in our regimen, which I normally do myself, we restrict that to 5-minute hot showers. So that's one of our modifications we're doing. Exercises we mentioned before. They said at least for 3 days a week. I'm trying to do more so than that.
Yeah, me too.
Have at least 7 hours of sleep, which shouldn't be a problem because I know like if you change up your nighttime routine, you can definitely do that. No alcohol, no sweets, right?
Yeah, no sweets.
Yeah. No TV, movies, or YouTube, for example. That was one of my biggest vices of 2021, and I know that's I'm only using it for feeling grounded. Same with Josh. Maybe with friends too, if they just have it on in the background, you can't really control that. No non-essential purchases. Only music that lifts up your relationship with God, be that as it may for you. I'm only listening to Christian music, Beatles music, soundscapes, just stuff that not totally secular.
Right.
And then lastly, the only things you can use for a computer are work, bills, like for feeling grounded too. I'm also just using it for guitar and stuff. So that's it. It's in the grand scheme of things, since it's 90 days, it might not seem too bad, but usually in the first week or so, week, 2 weeks, especially if you have some addiction to technology, which is the majority of our population. For my example, YouTube, 2021 was a big vice with that. I think if you have 1 week where you're really disciplined about that, about not using it, pay dividends.
Yeah. No, exactly, and it's hard because it is like an addiction, because when you find that you have time to do things that your brain immediately goes to, I gotta whip my phone out, I gotta whip my laptop out, I gotta watch something, I gotta be engaged in this moment.
Right.
And that's what happens with this is like you take a step back and realize I can't do these things, and I have so much time.
Yeah.
So like now you kind of experience boredom, and like you have to kind of find things to do,
Other avenues, yeah.
other avenues. And so like things like reading or like picking up hobbies and doing different stuff, like live, like real stuff, like away from technology.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see like my guitar playing, shoot through the roof, my drum playing. You know, I want to read a lot, all that stuff.
Yeah, and
I'm looking
I
forward to
listened to
this.
a YouTube video yesterday, which is actually my last YouTube video that I had watched since, doing some feeling grounded stuff. Excuse me. But they talked about this whole addiction stuff, that if you try to wane off a little bit, it's less effective than if you cut it off cold turkey, because most likely in the former example, you'll come back to it, back up to 11 with a vengeance.
Yeah, exactly. And if you just cut it off completely, it's a little bit easier to do. And if you can have that mental capacity and the ability to do so, like I think that's the way to do it.
And willpower, that's something that a lot of people have less of a threshold for. Depends on the person, which is very interesting. I'd like to talk about that not too long from now. But yeah, that's Exodus 90 for you guys. If you want that, check out the link. We'll put it in our bio for this video.
I will keep updating about how it's going as the weeks progress.
Yeah. Prepare for some difficulty next week. So what we want you all to do right now is subscribe to Feeling Grounded Podcast and like this video. Share this video also to any person that you feel might benefit from this content. Also follow us on Patreon. For only $3 a month, you guys will see exclusive content that Josh and I genuinely love to put out there. We've got one up for you, a new video this week. And follow us at Feeling Grounded Podcast. That's at Feeling Grounded Podcast on Instagram. You guys will be able to see free content that Josh and I love to put out there before each episode. Also, put some comments and some questions on this video or on our Feeling Grounded posts on Instagram, because that'll boost us in the algorithm especially. And please share this. It really helps us, and hit that notification bell, smashing that like button. You've got questions?
I'm feeling grounded.